The disconnection that exists between people within relationships is one of the great drivers of misunderstandings.
At the River Phoenix Center for Peacebuilding, we really are a community organization, and we're interested in what's called community-based peacebuilding. We offer training to people. We offer direct service in terms of restorative justice circles and mediation. What are those dynamics that are present that hold people in conflict or sustain conflict? And how can we find new ways, innovative ways of meeting people where they are, meeting those needs, and resolving conflicts that exist?
My wife and I were a part of an organization called the Peace Alliance, and there is a piece of legislation seeking to create a cabinet-level Department of Peace that would bring peace building and peacemaking to communities around the world. We took that idea and brought it to our local community to see how we could maximize some of those different skill sets and resources to the community.
Most of what we brought was not talked about here. They were new programs that we had learned about. Some of them weren't tested in the way that you need to be tested in order to get funded. So we funded it ourselves. We worked out of our kitchen. We offered programs for free, and we started to prove that what we were teaching was valid and innovative.
Here at the River Phoenix Center for Peacebuilding, we have 4 key pillars. So the first is restorative justice. It's a way of addressing harm, understanding that situation on a deeper level, bringing together everyone that was involved in that incident. The second is trauma-informed approach, a trauma-responsive approach. People experience trauma in different ways, and it shapes how they understand themselves and how they understand their relationship to their community and other people. The next is social emotional learning, and the last is dialogue. And so what that means is that in each of those 4 areas, we offer programs that utilize either one of those tools and strategies or a combination of them. These are really, really important skills, and a lot of times they're utilized for youth, and that's important, but we actually believe that they're important for everybody. So you're never too old to continue to work on your social emotional learning skills, and I certainly am working on it every day.
What I'm really focusing on is the youth empowerment. When it comes to developing these places of peace, I want to be a part of that, especially in Gainesville. We are teaching young people they have the power to solve their own problems. You don't need an adult saying to you, hey, you just hit so-and-so. What should you do next? Say why you're sorry. Now what are you going to do now? No, they can do that themselves. They can recognize I'm having a hard thought. I hate school. We have kids who can't express how they feel. I feel upset. What are you going to do? Calm myself down. So what are you going to do to stop yourself? Close your eyes, take a deep breath, count to 10, put your hands in your pocket, do a hand pretzel, and then what's going to be your cool thought? Your cool thought's a thought that is the opposite of your heart thought. Your heart thought is I hate school. Your cool thought is at least my friends are here. At least I can learn to read, or I'm doing better in math.
I'm working right now on the Immersion Training, which we've expanded from the time that I did it back in 2018, where it was a 9-day program. Now we have an immersion program we're rolling out for this year that is going to be over a year long, 3 separate in-person immersive experiences, and then in between, people will be connecting online and building community and trying this stuff out in their lives.
In terms of social emotional learning, bringing those skills and competencies into our life that help us understand ourselves and understand other people. Regulating our emotions, understanding what triggers us and what sets us off, and understand people, especially people who are different than us, how to make responsible decisions going forward.
We've had people trained from Sierra Leone, the Philippines, from Ukraine, from Australia, that have taken pieces of what they learn here and have magnified it in a way. They might not do exactly what we do, but they do a lot of what we do. They've changed. They see the world differently. So what we want to do is give everyone tools. How do I value myself? How do I value someone else? How do I be in relationship? How do I develop empathy? It's a belief system that we're putting on someone rather than an experience. The experience is what changes, which really transforms us.
We're always going to find reasons to disagree, and what conversation allows us to understand something differently. Often when conflict is present, we make profound assumptions. Being able to have an honest and authentic conversation in a safe way, in a brave way, really allows us to get in touch with the needs of the situation, what's really going on. At our Conflict Solution Hub, we offer restorative justice circles, conflict coaching, and we offer community mediation.
It's really vital for all of us to find these different solutions, to focus in on what is working and how do we build relationships across the aisle, across differences, not only in our own communities, but internationally, for us to really thrive as a world community.
When there's conflict, we have this feeling that we want to back away. we want to isolate ourselves, like that's going to protect ourselves. But the fact is that that endangers us more. Every conflict has some kind of unmet need underneath it. And when we can understand that, number one, and number two, have the skills, the understanding to dive into that safely, that we come out on the other side better.
I think we have to be more brave and be willing to have those conversations with people that are very different than us. And that's a major part of our work.
So if people wanted to get involved with the River Phoenix Center for Peacebuilding, whether it's volunteering or donating or somehow participating in trainings or workshops, our website is centerforpeacebuilding.org. It has a lot of resources on there and more in-depth exploration about what is restorative justice, what is peacebuilding, what is social emotional learning, etc. So hopefully it will be a positive resource for people to access.
To engage with each other peacefully. I think that that really is what's so needed right now in our culture and in our community. We may experience conflict, but our response to conflict is up to us.